heard that other stormtroopers also played characters outside of the uniform.
Mm.
You definitely did.
Yeah.
Were any of the other guys, or were they just, like there's also like an Imperial commander in that sequence, and I'm wondering, like, was that like a friend of yours from like another scene in another costume, or
Oh
some of the guys
God,
on Return of the Jedi?
it's quite strange because I meet people that I haven't seen for 20 years, 30 years, and we talk about things and they go, oh, that was you. Oh gosh. I mean, it happens. It's not just Star Wars. It's happened on other productions, things I've done in.
Yeah.
And I, because I had my head was in a script a lot of the time. I didn't always make the same connections the others did, and my memories are very clear on the things I do remember, and less clear on the things that are, that I didn't really. I'll give you an example. Richard Bonehill and myself were involved in a sequence during the Return of the Jedi, where we were away from the main set. There was Dave Prowse, 2 or 3 stormtroopers, plus Richard and myself, and we would do this kind of what we thought was some kind of nightmare fantasy sketch. We didn't know what the purpose it was. It was going to be like some kind of freaky dream or something, we thought.
Right.
Now, with the stormtrooper helmets, they break very easily. So we get back to my friend here. They tend to crack along here. You get a crack down there, it makes the helmet loose. So if you have a very loose helmet that you can't do much on, you put it on somebody's head, you punch them in the face, the helmet's going to revolve like that, which is quite comical. So Richard Bonehill had a few moments like that, and I didn't understand what it was for. It's not in the film. It's not in the film. And the reason it's not in the film is because while we were filming that, which meant that Dave Prowse as well was away from the main stage, was at the time on the Return of the Jedi when Darth Vader's helmet is removed to reveal the real Darth Vader. And of course, the real Darth Vader wasn't actually played by Dave Prowse.
Luke, help me take this mask off.
But you'll die.
Nothing can stop that now. Just for once, let me look on you with my own eyes.
Go, my son. Leave me.
No, you're coming with me. I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you.
You already have. Look, you were right. You were right about me. Tell your sister you were right.
Father. I won't leave you.
That began how can I put it? A difference of opinion between Dave Prowse and George Lucas that I don't want to talk about, but I was in that sequence. That never seen the light of day, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
In
and
the same
Dave's
way
no.
that the pictures of me playing cards haven't seen the light of day, unfortunately.
Oh, it's
They will
somewhere,
some
buddy.
point. They
Yeah,
will at some
yeah.
point. Yeah, they will at some point.
It
I'm sure
will.
they will.
It, it, it's definitely there somewhere. Someone's going to actually break the vault open and enjoy a couple stills with Ralph Morris as the centerpiece. Let me ask you something. I know that's always been a sticky thing, and I don't like to get into it either because Dave Prowse is gone, and I don't think
Yeah.
George communicates enough about what his personal feelings were. But if you were doing that when they were shooting with Sebastian Shaw,
Mm.
did word get to Dave Prowse what they were doing? Like, did he find
I
out? Was he
don't.
told?
I don't know, and I'm not lying. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not covering up any. I, I'm very, very fond of Dave because when we were doing the Empire, and
Hmm.
it gets very, very hot in those studios. It was particularly hot in the carbon chamber, which is why we took a break and everything. But other sequences got hot, and we'd open the studio doors and go and wait outside. And one particular um, day, myself and another stormtrooper had been filming against a blue screen. I don't even know what it was for. And we were outside at one point, and I started chatting with Dave, and he was talking about his life and everything. And he offered me to, he said, "Would you want to come down to my gym? I'll train you up free of
Hmm.
charge." And I thought, what, given who he was and what he did, that was just the nicest thing you can say to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody you don't really know that well. He was quite happy to say, "Come down, yeah, I could help you out. You seem like a nice man. I'll give you some training free of charge."
Tell me you went down for that training session at his gym. Tell me you
I
have a
didn't.
story about
I
Darth
didn't.
Vader training
I
with you.
didn't. I'm afraid I didn't.
Oh,
I couldn't. I got something else. Something. I got work. The dreaded work,
yeah,
and
terrible.
I didn't. I didn't. I was also quite embarrassed, to be honest with you. I didn't take advantage of somebody. I don't. I felt a bit awkward about that.
Ah, but those are the things they do, right? Those athletes, man, they love to
Yeah,
sort of like
yeah,
cross
yeah,
train and
yeah.
expand with people.
But
Hey,
the other
um,
thing is a bit terrifying because he's a big fella.
he
Not because
was,
he'd hurt
wasn't
me.
he?
I don't mean that, but because I was quite slim then. I took to take my shirt off then, and you blow me away in the wind. And
Oh, come on.
it's like embarrassing. Hello, Dave. Look at me.
Uh, the reveal of Darth Vader, that is actually quite common, as we know, in theater and movies, that the actor who is the part is not the face of the part. So it's tough. I don't think it was a personal call, but it's definitely not the call Prowse probably wanted. He probably also wanted to be the face, but I'm sure all along they probably had
Well,
an
he
idea
wanted
of what Darth Vader
one
looked
thing
like.
he sorry, one thing he did say to me when we were chatting about things. He said he wanted to be Superman. He wanted to be. He said, why can't I be? Why couldn't I be Superman? They said they didn't want an English actor. Um, but I mean, you can imagine Superman talking like that, can you? My name's Clark
Yeah,
Kent. Don't know if that would
yeah,
work particularly, but he's such a nice fellow. And then of course he trained Christopher to reeve up to be
yeah.
Superman. That's the kind of bloke he was. No, I didn't bear grudges. I think towards the end. He and George just didn't talk. I think he was banned from George's conventions, and I think that's just very sad. I'm not taking sides in this because not my business, not something I was
Oh,
actively
and I mean,
involved.
who knows what it
But
was,
he's a nice.
honestly.
But all I know is that Dave was one of the nicest fellows I've ever met, as indeed was Jeremy. Jeremy Bullock.
Oh,
He was
well, we loved Jeremy here. He was one of my all-time favorite people to meet for dinner when he was in town, and
great character.
just such a well-rounded guy. But he and my daughter would always end up talking about art or something. That my daughter would steal the conversation with him because he was always fascinated with what she was doing as she was growing up. But he was a class act.
Hello, my name is Simon Williamson. Help us find a cure for NMOSD, neuromyelitis optica spectrum disorder, and with it, cancer. Please go to the Guthrie Jackson Foundation and donate if you can.